I'm in a hell of a hole, was never expected to grow. Just obstacle set in the road, that a result of me selling my soul. The story I'm telling is cold, but yet it's what everyone knows. The white man's the devil is known. America was never a home, only a place of captivity, safe facility, hating, disfigure me. They claim that I'm lazy, be killing me. Maybe this slavery draining my energy. 400 years and counting, the trail of my tears is countless. The fact that I'm here is astounding, but I can't wait till this shit is surrounded. Ready to tangle my king and the angel, be ready to rap. Crack in the sky, nuclear missiles will make it official. I'm capturing every cracker surviving. Put them all in chains where they need to be, slavery for me. And let the whole world see that with them in the cage and safer in the streets. Put the dog on a leash, get resolved for the beast. 144, get the ruler show, we could all be at peace. As soon as the trumpets are sound, your kingdom we busting it down. The only way justice is found, the time for your judgment is now.
You'll see just how it feels. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog.
Look, ain't no remorse in my bloodstream. It won't be no compromise. Now it's time to feed the worms. Watch his body turn to flies. I clutch iron while you trust the lies. The next Glock I buy gon' be Gen 5. I get it customized. And sending shots off like farewell. Praying payback come back around like a carousel. Still remember your Honda's words ringing in my head like bells. Said you in his body, you fit the Lord, fuck the cocktail. Triangle choke, apply pressure to the game like I did Vondale. Payback's a bitch in a dress, she a bombshell. Revenge is served cold, I just hope they making oxtail. Glock fresh out the box, I swear it got that new car smell. Made myself a target in a world of mad shooters. Devils design fire for our babies to pass through. In the day of our king's reign, I'll be overzealous. They bought my jealous, I bought brand new parabellums.
One day you'll see just how it feels. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog.
Yeah, you know what it is. 140 for the rebel, busy man shit, nigga. They take their head over, nigga. I read where Eve did to Adam, I just pray my love don't lie to me. Swing the iron like Samson, I can't let no hoe to lie to me. I don't feel these rappers, all they lies is hypocrisy. Ain't no competition, ain't no rivalry. Niggas think I'm playing, I don't hear one word they saying, this shit light work. Think Muhammad one of us, he might lose his life first. Another cop can stretch the nigga. He ain't thieving, this an exorcism. Watch I bless the nigga. You took that open blood, then you know I'm gonna get active with you. From the opposition, I see vision. Let me paint the picture. Rappers claim they spin, I ain't listening. Is in fact if revenge was a woman, now I scope that bitch like Jake. War, we gon' run the summer, it's gon' be historical. Thought they making plays, made them niggas call the audible. Ask who run this shit, but that question is rhetorical. Bitch, I'm the one, me cookies with the oil. I'ma get them crackers, hell, should've never kidnapped my family. I can't do that, bet I be the last nigga standing. Do a life sentence for my niggas, pray you understand me. I might put a switch on this Glock and call it young baby. How you real trigger know them dots? You a bird feeder, claiming he a demon. What's a demon to a cold leader? When he said something, I ain't hear him. This shit light. It ain't about who got the gun, it's about who gon' up that fight first. I I turn a bad situation to a game changer. Bring soldiers from the dead, just raised up the chain. 6 shots, I'ma look like Aaron Jones when I run it. Never bite the hand that feeds you, you will never get that hand back. He bitching about 10%, I don't want to hear none of that. He dropping sword, fuck him, just make sure you get that cover back. Look around, he ain't with us, probably cause he never was. Now my chin like you with the angels for your brothers. Everybody won't be Richard Porter, God kill him like Alpo. Play if he want, it's laying in the trunk like Lee Malvo. A certified rubber ass nigga, I am not a toy. Hey, I with that hollow sign, yeah, this the rim accord. Feel like Gullah Jack when I'm in Fayetteville, you feel your boy. Still up on my brain, still I think that's all that I enjoy. The way I get it, boy, lost, they gon' start to call him Elroy. Fuck his game, pop out on them demons like I'm Hellboy.
Shalom, shalom. Okay, let's get it on. Let's get started. This is the ISUPK from the Bahamas. We are under Commanding General Yahano, and ISUPK started out at 1 West 125th Street. And the man at the time who was at the helm is Commanding General Yahano. Yahweh by Hashem, Yahweh Shai to Barakatah, to all the brothers. Yahweh Shema Alatam by Hashem Yahweh Shai to all the sisters. First, I want to say I had a glorious time at the Passover. Had a good, joyous time. Saw the brothers, the sisters, saw the generals. We had a good time. Had the lamb slaughter. And as a farmer for many years, I've learned something a little new too. A little more technique in getting them skin off them lambs. So I had a good time, Israel. To all the brothers who I met, brothers with who was working us out at the time of the Passover. It was glorious. You know, the Hebrew Academy, as I step forward, and some of these old muscles now getting reactivated. So now I need to get back in shape. So when we get back there, I can graduate with flying colors. Again, to water men who are above me, who was talking over my head. But I know you guys love me. All those things you said just inspired me to try to keep up off my knee. It's difficult. But that Hebrew Academy, it's taxing. So shalom. Now, what I want to go into today, I had a couple of conversations, and the Christians they just want I guess they just need to sin. They do not want to look at the truth. They want to fight and say, oh, we were wrong, and I'm going to stay in my wrong. We're wrong, and I'm going to stay in my wrong. Yahweh is not pleased with those kind of response, because we are reaching out to people. I'm reaching out individually to people, and I'm talking about persons near to me. They are not willing to receive. They want to stay in their vomit. The dog even ain't return to the vomit. The dog ain't leave the vomit. The dog is just vomiting and taking it back up. Vomiting and taking it back up. So I want to go back into some of them, the scriptures, because we don't know who we are. So I want to go back into our Deuteronomy scriptures, identifying us. I know we've done this a few times before. Now I've sent a couple of invites, so hopefully, if the persons don't actually catch me live, that they will go back and check it. I sent a couple of special invites out. So if you got one, I really want you to check this out. Okay? Check this out. Because you need to know this. The Christian church is not going to teach you this. But we here at ISUPK, we're going to teach you the truth. So please don't hate me when I tell you the truth. Okay? So let's go into the scriptures. Get your Bible. Because we're gonna start, we're gonna do something again that the Christian church does not always practice. We're gonna read the scriptures. We're gonna break down the scriptures. And even if you're not on your live, but if you have any questions, you could send an email. isupkbahamas@kashka@gmail.com. Any one of them, you send your question. We normally live Thursdays and Sundays at 6 p.m. You catch us and come on and ask your question. But for right now, why we just do not seem to be willing to live a righteous and clean life. And I believe, this is my personal opinion, is that the reason why people do not want to accept anything about the truth, because they want to stay in their sins. And they know if they now start to talk about the truth, start about bettering their situation and their circumstances, they will have to change. They will not be allowed to stay in the sins that they're in. And so people reject it from jump. They don't wanna even receive it. Now one of the other things that when it comes to ISUPK, that they don't want to receive is the truth about the Bible. They don't accept the Bible. They don't accept the Christ said that there should be no divorce. That from the beginning there shouldn't be divorce. They don't accept that. Nor do they accept that men can have multiple wives. They don't accept that. So whenever they see that this is ISUPK, they shut you down from jump, because they don't want to live free. They don't from sin. They don't want to follow the Bible. So they decide not to even entertain you. And I know that's what's going on. But for those who are willing, I want to say something to you. You are of the 12 tribe of Israel. You are a holy and blessed people. You are the most compassionate people on the whole planet. And you think about it. Tell me if you're not. Tell me if our race. Tell me if our race is not. Even if you're not sure all about the race thing at this time, you think about it. Let's say some of the black people on the planet is the most compassionate in the world. You could identify and agree with that. You can or you can't. But the thing is now that there are different sets of people of color. If you don't know that now, you'll learn that coming to the ISUPK. We'll teach you the difference. Okay? Everybody's not the same. But we try and give you your identity. Okay, I'm going to read Deuteronomy chapter 27. I'll start at the first verse. Slovakia. I'll read the first verse, 27 and 1. And I may need to do a little more explaining about this. Moses with the elders of Israel commanded the people, saying, keep all the commandments which I command you this day. Who is Moses talking to? They always ask in Bible school, which I attended, who is speaking, who are they speaking to, and what was the circumstances and the surrounding time. Okay? Now there are some big words for them, but we're going to use them. So, what was happening around those times? When was it in history? When was it said? Who was saying it? Who was it said to? That's something that nobody's teaching you. If you don't know the story, let me go over it quickly. Okay? There was a famine in the land. Well, Joseph was sold into Egypt. The events around that. Joseph ended up being second in charge in Egypt. He's ended up being in charge of the food and the grain. And then what happened after that? His family was starving. They eventually went into Egypt. And what happened is after Joseph died, the Pharaoh came who didn't know Joseph. So all of Joseph's family were put into slavery. And after being put into slavery, now who's Joseph's family? Joseph's family is the 12th tribe. Jacob had 12 sons. Remember now, Joseph is not the last one, the one almost the last. Benjamin is the last. So Joseph was in Egypt. They went into Egypt, and After a time, they now were put into hard bondage. They ended up being put into slavery. So after they cried, the Lord sent Moses and delivered them from their bondage. After they got into the wilderness, Moses, the children of Israel, was in the wilderness. Moses then was seeking the Lord on their behalf. The Lord gave Moses the Ten Commandments, and at least he was giving Moses the Ten Commandments. He started to talk to the people, and the people tell Moses, no, listen, you go talk to him, and then come talk to us, because we can't take this. So Moses went and he got all of the information from Yahweh, brought it back to the people. And so now Moses is reminding them, and so Moses is saying now, and Moses with the elders, right? He's with the elders of Israel, commanded the people, saying, keep all the commandments which I command you this day. Okay? So that's what Moses told them. So that's the people. Who are those people? Those are the people who was in slavery in Egypt and came out. That's who they were. They were in the desert. They wasn't already crossed into the promised land and mixed up with all the other people. That was one nationality. Israel. Okay? And Israel come in many colors. From a light color to a very dark color. Okay? So we're not caught up on color. But even when we use the word black in identifying, black is not a we're not using black as a color. We're basically using black as a condition. It may be hard to understand, but again, come and ISUPK. We'll break it down for you. So I hope you understood all that so far. Let's go to Deuteronomy chapter 28 in the first verse. Okay? Now this is Moses continuing now. Remember, Moses wrote the first 5 books called the Pentateuch. Okay, so, and it shall come to pass, if thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe and to do all his commandments, which I command thee this day, that the Lord thy God, will set thee on high above all nations of the earth. So what Moses is telling the people now again, Moses is telling the congregation, the people, his people, the people who came out of slavery, that they are supposed to follow the commandments. And if they follow the commandments, then he say in the first verse, I guess in the second, still at the end of the first line, and he say, the Lord thy God, that's what he's saying. The Lord, the Lord is your God. That's what he's saying. Thy God. Right? So hearken diligently unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe and to do all his commandments, which I, Moses, is saying, commanded thee this day. So Moses say, they're his commandments, but Moses is the one who tell it to you. Okay? All right. So the Lord thy God will set thee on high above all nations of the earth. So if you follow the commandments, you'll be set above all the nations on the earth. Why are we not on top of all the nations of the earth? Because we didn't follow his commandments. How can we get back in the position to be on top of all the nations of the earth? Follow his commandments. Why are you Christians not understanding that and will not turn to the Lord, will not follow his commandments? You will stay in your situation, in your sin, and say, well, this way I am and this way I can stay. That's ridiculous. But again, I guess that's your choice. All right. If your choice is to be ridiculous, then it's nothing that we can do. But we need to bring it out. We need to let you know that what you're doing, what you're saying, really doesn't make sense, and that's not the way the Lord have things set up. The Lord have it set up that you would come out of darkness and into light. So leave those sins which you feel so like you have to commit these sins. Leave them alone. Come and learn. come and get grounded in ISUPK because the Christian church is not causing you to change. Um, I had a conversation with an individual, and they do not put any blame on the church. But you tell me, who was supposed to teach the people morale? Who's supposed to teach the morality? Who's supposed to teach you what is right and wrong? Who's supposed to insist it? The court? That's you're gonna wait until your people people get to the court for the court to tell you what is right and wrong. The church has been around for all of these years and have failed in their duties because right now everybody's saying, "Oh, the home, the home's supposed to teach the children. So who's supposed to teach the home? Where the home get the information from? The home should be getting information from the Word of God, and 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 who's going to explain it to them? Because you read in the Bible and you still cannot understand it. So now you need to be able to understand the scriptures by somebody breaking it down to you. Coming into ISUPK, we could break down the scriptures for you. You'll not be able to understand the scriptures if it's not broken down properly. And what has happened in the past is the same thing. That's the issue what has happened. A lot of what you understand has been broken down in the past incorrect. So this is why you feel like you could eat crab, shrimp, and lobster. Because when you talk about the dietary laws, somebody make you believe that you don't have to follow the laws anymore. And so you read them and you think it's okay. And then we have a whole society of people who are getting ill because of the things that they consume, because of the food that they eat. They're getting ill. We are getting ill. Because, I mean, right now, because everybody's not born into the truth. So a lot of times you find out years after many years about the truth, and you've already consumed quite a bit of the things that you ought not to have. So what happens is if you did that, there's so much damage your body would have already received, and in some cases there's no turning back. But all of that is law we should have been following, and it's not spooky or religion. This is just God telling His people what to do and what not to do. That's all it is. This is what you should do, and this is what you should not do. You don't have to go and say you're getting into the Holy Spirit. No, that's not even what God asked you to do. God gave you these laws to follow, and that's what you should be following. Let's go to the next scripture now. We can talk a little bit more on this. We can look at Deuteronomy chapter 28 and 15. Okay, Deuteronomy 28 and 15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe, to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee. Now, this is Moses already tell them. He give them a pep talk. And now he gone into telling them, if you don't do it, right? If you don't do it, some curses is gonna overtake you. The curse can overtake you. All right? The curse will overtake you. That means whatever curse happens, the curse may be dormant somewhere, but the curse is gonna find you and be present in your life. And you're not gonna be able to get away or get out of the curse. So that's how the curse is gonna overtake us. That's how the curse was supposed to overtake us. And that's how the curse have overtaken us. And most of us have been in the curse, in this situation so long that we become, the best way I could say, I wouldn't even say immune to it, but we become desensitized to it and don't realize that, listen, we yet in our slavery. We yet in our slavery. We have not been delivered, and we've not been saved. Because that's another thing, salvation. We've not been saved. We're still here. We're still in this. We're not saved. So let me read it again. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee. Let's touch briefly on a couple of the curses. All right. It would be a good idea if you just go through the whole Deuteronomy chapter, read Deuteronomy chapter, and get a good clear understanding of what's going on. But what I'm trying to tell you today is that Christianity is not helping us as Christianity should have. Now we're not even talking now this, because when I say that, I'm talking about the church. I'm talking about the from all the way from the Roman Catholic Church was put in place by some to help the people to do right, teach the people. But if the people aren't being taught, who do you blame? You blame the people. Hmm. Who counsels you? Do you counsel yourself? Do you counsel yourself? That's a question I have for individuals. Do you counsel yourself? If you counsel yourself, they say, let me see if I can remember the saying. They say the man who represents himself in court, I think how they go, I think they have a fool for a client, you know? So how would you counsel yourself if you already know everything you know? You already know everything you know, you could counsel yourself? Mm, well, I don't know if people just think about that. But you can't counsel yourself. You cannot counsel yourself, because if you could have counseled yourself, you wouldn't be in the crap you're in. Right? That's it. You wouldn't be in it. If you could have made the right decision, you would have made it. Obviously, you couldn't make the right decision. So you need someone else to help counsel you through life. And this is why we understand that the church, the organization which you become a part of, should help you to make right decisions. They shouldn't leave you alone. The organization should, when you join an organization, somebody should actually almost be attached to help you to grow. Because once you join an organization, the organization, especially if it's the church, now in ISUPK, when you come to understand that this is your history, when you come to understand that this is the way your ancestors lived, when you come to understand that if we're gonna get out of all of this what we're in, we're gonna have to follow God's word verbatim. When you come to understand that, you're gonna do the right thing. But so there's no easy out in ISUPK. There's no easy out. As the scripture said, you have to follow it. And as the scripture said, like, and I think Christ said I'll paraphrase, he said, out of your belly will come living waters. If you see Christ as the scripture said, I'm paraphrasing that. But if you don't see as the scripture said, you will see him another way. And this is what's going on. We have been infiltrated with false teachers for all of our lives, all of our parents' lives, all of their lives. Who taught them? You have to remember now, when this Bible wasn't broken down that's properly. Think about it. Think about maybe 5, 6, 10 generations. I think we're back into slavery. 10 generations, if not 10, it's not much more. But about that amount of generations, we're back into slavery. So if you think about who, after the transatlantic slave trade, after the abolition of slavery, and we're thinking now, who was teaching us? We were taught during the slave period. We were taught by the masters. Who after that? Who started to teach us? We started to teach ourselves, right? The Roman Catholic Church was set up. They start to break down. We get all of these organizations. Think about it. After all of this time, we've basically been teaching. We've been learning and teaching and learning and teaching. So it's a lack here. So if any credit is due, should be due to those people who were teaching. If there's no credit due, then the people who were teaching incorrect, they also cannot be getting any credit. Shalom Yahweh Shem Yahushai Brakatah, and Yahweh Shema Tam by Shem Yahushai. Okay, all right, I'm right in the middle of it, so y'all have to just pick up what I'm on. If you got a question, let me just take a quick recap. So if y'all have any questions, y'all can ask your question. But I'm talking about, we're back into our identity. And right now I'm talking about the Christian church and who supposed to be teaching the morals, who's supposed to be responsible for morality. You know, should can a man teach himself? I say a man cannot teach himself. A man knows what he already know. A woman know what she already know. They cannot counsel themselves to do the right thing. Right? And I should use the word counsel and not teach. But a man cannot counsel himself, because if a man could counsel himself, he wouldn't be in the situation he's in. So you have to find someone who's gonna give you wise counsel. And I'm suggesting that is the ISUPK, because the Christian church, if you see over years, the Christian church is not producing the kind of results that we see, we understand that how people should be living. And I think this class came about because I had a couple of conversations with people who I feel in my heart just want to stay in their sin. That's it. That's the bottom line. They don't want to come out, so they don't want to view. They don't want to look at the scriptures. They don't even want to, when they think about ISUPK, they don't even want to think about that, because they know in ISUPK, you have to follow this laws, precept, commandment. And with that, the class over to Captain of 13,000, Captain Knight Attack. That will buy
What's going on? You have Bashim Shai Broke a thumb. You have a Shemalta Bashim Shai. All right, how we doing, Akim? What we looking like?
Looking good to Rob.
All right. So it sound like you brought something back.
Kind of on cancer, and I've been talking. I was on a rant now because the Christians. I had a conversation with a couple of them, and they just don't want to change. And
that's that. Once you understand that they don't want to change, then the next thing is to understand or try to get to why they don't want to change. You understand? Some Christians, for some people, love pork more than they love the Lord. You understand? So some people love the oppressor more than they love the Lord. You just have to figure out why. Because change, sometimes change is good. You understand? But for somebody who has an addiction, a drug addiction, change is good for them. But sometimes they don't want it. Why? Because it's too difficult. That feeling is, you know what I mean, is too great to get over. You understand? But through the mercy of the Lord, they could get over it. You understand? We have programs in our school to help you with your addiction, with whatever you're going through in life. You understand? You have all the support necessary in here. You know what I mean? But brothers and sisters, they have to make that big step by what? Coming in. You understand? By coming in. Now, I wanted to touch on a specific topic. Did you all ever went over like Gentiles in the Bible? Okay, let's go over that, right? Right, get the definition. I think we just went over the definition per se, but we didn't really go over as a topic. All right, so let's do a little bit on that. All right, because Christians, you're going to come across Christians who are going to tell you what? That they are what? That we are the Gentiles.
We are Gentiles.
Right? We are not God-chosen people. You ever hear black people say that? You go to them and tell them, you are God-chosen people. You're the Jews of the Bible. And what some of them would say, nah, not me. Nah, I'm a Gentile. You understand? Well, let's break it all the way down. Now tell me when you get it in the Zondervan. All right.
Cancer. This is the definition of Gentiles from the Zondervan Pictorial Dictionary, Bible Dictionary. And it says from page 307, it says Gentiles. It have a lot of different references, and then it goes on to say that nation being usually translated in the ASV and that part.
So what? Go
Usually
ahead.
means a non-Israelite people.
Usually, that's what you want. It means a non-Israelite person, right? Usually, which means you're gonna have to read the Bible. You're gonna have to read what?
Read to get the content.
Yes, I believe the context of what is trying to
context.
You understand? And that's how English is, right? Certain words, you know what I mean? You could say, I will see you later, right? Or I'm going down by the sea, right? A song, you know, context means which one we're talking about. You understand? It's clear as day. You understand? Right? Now, let's go into some of them. Go to John 7:35 for me. Go to John 7:35. So we know that the Bible from front to back, the Bible speaks about who?
The Israelites.
Yes. So meaning in the Bible, there's one flow in it. One flow. And that is the Israelites. It's about the Israelites. You know what I mean? Christians don't like to read the Old Testament because it has a ton of, you know what I mean, unaliving in it. They don't like to read that Old Testament. But that Old Testament, when you read it, you get a proper understanding of how the nation was split in two. So you had what? We were Israelites coming out to Egypt. And then because of King Solomon, because he went after strange women, meaning women that were not of his nation, right? He went after them and he built the churches for their gods. The Lord said, what? I'm going to split this kingdom. And he told Solomon he will not do it in his time because of his father's sake. But after Solomon, he split the kingdom, right? Jeroboam, right? Who was the Ephraimite? He took what? He took the 10.5 tribe. You understand? And then I forget the king name for Judah. He took Benjamin and Judah. And then there was a period of time when the so-called the Israelites, who were the 10.5, they went off and started serving other god. And the Levites, half of the Levites left and went back to Judah and Benjamin. You understand? That's why I say what? 10.5, right? Or 9.5, I mean. You understand? With the half being half a Levite, because Levite in those times, and they were the priests. And the priests knew to celebrate the Passover, you had to do it where? In Jerusalem. You had to do it there. You couldn't have Passover anywhere else. That wouldn't be considered a Passover. You understand? That would be considered an act of what you call that when you go against a doctrine. I forget the word they use. There's a word they use when you go against your doctrine. Heresy. That'll be heresy. You understand? And he knew it. Right? So let's read this in John 7:35.
This is the book of John, chapter 7, and verse 35. Then said the Jews among themselves, whither will he go, that we should not find him? Will he go unto the dispersed?
Will he go where?
Unto the dispersed.
Unto the dispersed, meaning the brothers and sisters who were not where?
In Jerusalem.
In Jerusalem. Right, read on.
Among the Gentiles.
Among the who?
Among the Gentiles.
Read on.
And to teach the Gentiles.
So who is Who's the Gentile they're going among?
They're going to the Israelites who were not in Jerusalem are being referred to as the Gentiles.
In those two cases?
In
Read it again.
well, in one case, okay, then said the Jews among themselves, whither will he go, that we shall not find him? Will he go unto the dispersed among the Gentiles?
Amongst the who? When they say amongst,
So,
meaning they what?
yes. So the Gentiles are not, these are not the Israelites. These are the Gentiles, the true Gentiles.
Yes, this is who you usually will call a Gentile, a non-Israelite, a heathen.
Right.
So he's saying, would they go amongst the Gentile? Read on.
And to teach the Gentiles.
And to teach the what?
The Gentiles.
The Gentiles. Who's the Gentiles there?
This would be the dispersed who they ask if they go in among the dispersed.
Yeah, that's it.
So like I said, what you just said will go over everybody's head, because as far as the Christians would understand, and me myself also, prior to coming into the truth, saw those two Gentiles as being the same Gentile.
Right.
Will he go reading it, right? Reading it is clear.
Yeah. And still, even if he went amongst the Gentiles, that means what? We were what? They're still brothers and sisters, because they are what? They're amongst the Gentiles. Right? But he went, no, when it say he went to what? Teach the Gentiles. No, it's being specific on who he's talking about. Right? Christ didn't what? Christ, what did it say about Christ? He came for what?
He came not but
to
unto
save
the lost sheep of the house of Israel.
Yes, he came to save his people. You understand? Now we could go to all the scriptures that prove who Christ came for, who Christ died for. You understand? And these were the who? The Gentiles. Go to 1 Corinthians 12 and 2. All right. So we could get, blacks and Hispanics and Native Indians to see that they are God chosen people.
This is the book of 1 Corinthians.
Go ahead.
And verse 2. Ye know that ye were Gentiles, carried away unto these dumb idols.
Right. Ye were what?
Ye were carried away unto these dumb idols.
No, it say ye were.
Ye know that ye were Gentiles.
When he's saying that, what is he saying? Ye know ye were Gentiles. Just think today. Take that Christianity off of it. Just think today. Right? Do black people celebrate Christmas?
Can't, sir.
Valentine's Day?
They do.
So we will be considered what? Gentiles. So now we behaving like who? Gentiles. Because we doing the things the Gentiles would do. So read it one more time.
This is the book of 1 Corinthians chapter 12 and verse 2. Ye know that ye were Gentiles, carried away unto these dumb idols.
Carried away unto these what?
These dumb idols.
Like the cross. Christian cross. Like the Mary statue. We carried away by these dumb idols. You understand? That cover stone. Those are dumb idols. You understand? That Buddha statue, that's a dumb idol according to the Bible. You understand? We can't worship these other gods. You understand? The Lord will not accept it. That's why he left in the Bible. We are to what? We are to disrespect these gods. You understand? Right? We're to treat them as what? What does the Bible say to do with these other gods? How do we treat these other gods?
As no God, sir. see.
Give me it in the Bible. You know what I'm asking for?
Nah, sir.
Go to, I believe, Isaiah 30 and 22.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 30 and verse 22. Ye shall defile also the covering of the graven images of silver,
Mm-hmm.
and the ornaments of thy molten image of gold,
Mm-hmm.
and thou shalt cast them away as a
As a
menstruous
what?
cloth,
As a what?
um, a menstruous cloth,
A minstrel cloth.
menstrual, like
What
menstruation
is the
cloth.
Lord saying there?
Mm-hmm.
Now you all thought I was saying it. I didn't say that. The Lord said. He's saying to do what with these gods?
Cast them away.
Like a what? Like a pad. Excuse my language. Like a tampon. Excuse my language. That's what he's saying to do. Cast them away. Like that. You understand? Treat it like what? Like it's something that not supposed to be, you know what I mean, on you or around you. You understand? Cast it away. Read it one more time.
Cancer. This is the book of Isaiah, verse chapter 30 and verse 22. Ye shall defile also the covering of thy graven images of silver.
So he's saying defile it. You understand? Defile it. You understand? That statue of Mary, that statue of so-called Caesar, but defile it. Speak against it. That picture, throw it on the floor at camp. Is a reason why we throw it on the floor at camp. We are defiling that image. You understand? And we're doing something drastic that Black people, Hispanic people have to see. You understand? Like we do not get it so much. Like Black people, you will say, well, Christ is Black. You show them it in the Bible. And then you will pull that picture of Serge Bourget out that appears to be like Christ, that they know growing up, and put it on the floor in front of them and tell them step on it. And I guarantee you they're not going to step on it. You understand? They will not step on it because it's, you know what I mean, it's burned into their minds. But now, once you see us throwing it, casting it to the floor, and nothing mysterious happening to us, guess what? Black people, Hispanic and Native Indian might get some courage to understand that that's not a God. That's just some image that you have to defile, so that Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians could see it and not follow after it. You understand? Read on.
Cancer. And the ornaments of thy molten images of gold, thou shalt cast them away as a menstruous cloth.
Yes, because back then it didn't have those sanitary, what they would call napkins and stuff. They didn't have those things. They will use what? A cloth. And now he's describing it. You know what I mean? So, you know what I mean? He's trying to give you a picture on how you should deal with these other gods. The Lord hates them. Right? Any more? Read on.
Cancer. Thou shalt say unto it, get thee hence.
You understand? Get thee hence, meaning get away. Go away. You understand? So that Mary statue, your mother and your grandmother been parent to, the Lord don't care about it. He looks at it as a menstrual cloth that has to be what? Cast down, cast away. All right? That was it on that?
Cancer.
Now go back to where it was at. I think it's 1 Corinthians 12 and 2. Mm-hmm.
This is the book of 1 Corinthians chapter 12, verse 2.
Mm-hmm.
Ye know that ye were Gentiles,
Mm-hmm.
carried away unto these dumb idols, even as ye were led.
Right? Even as ye were what?
Were led.
Why is it saying led? Because what? Because your Christian pastors are the one leading you to do what? To serve these idols. Your imam is the one that's leading you to serve these idols. You understand? And the Lord is trying to get you to understand not to go after these idols, not to do it. When you do it, you behave just like those what? You behave just like a what?
Like a Gentile.
Like a Gentile.
Cancer.
But you are God-chosen people. You're not a Gentile. You understand? Go to Romans 11 and 26.
This is the book of Romans chapter 11 and verse 26. And so all Israel shall be saved.
Right, skip up to verse 25.
Cancer. This is the book of Romans chapter 11 and verse 25. For I would not, brethren, that ye should be ignorant to this mystery.
Right, it should not be ignorant to what?
To this mystery.
What's a mystery?
Something that you don't know.
It's not that you okay. I'll take that, but look up the definition still. Let's see what a mystery is. Mysterious. Let's see what it is. Mm-hmm. Got it?
Sir.
Okay, take your time. And so if you need help, I can help you right here.
Yeah, it's not in the Zonovan.
No. This one will be in the dictionary.
Yeah,
That's what I was miss.
We got a nice one.
All right. So, just for time's sake, right? What's a mystery? Something that is difficult or impossible to understand or what? Explain. So read it one more time.
Something that is, I can't see it, sir.
No. Read the scripture.
Oh, Salaki.
Yeah, Salaki.
Romans chapter 11 and verse 25.
Mm-hmm.
For I would not, brethren, that ye should be ignorant of this mystery.
Ignorant of this mystery. All right. You know, like how some black people, you try to tell them, you know what I mean? You try to tell them something pertaining to the Bible and they just ignorant it.
Cancer.
Like you God-chosen people, hear the scriptures. No. I don't want to see that. Oh, no. Because you want to be what? Ignorant. You understand? You telling me we can't sit down and have a discussion, you know what I mean? Or a debate on the Bible. You had to be like, nah, I don't want to hear that. Nah, You know what I mean? And you know what goes for the sisters? A man having more than one woman. Oh, no. Not in this house. No, if he wants that, he has to leave. She's being what? Ignorant. You understand?
Cancer.
She's being ignorant. When you can sit down and let's open it and pop open. If you say, nah, that's a lie, then guess what? You prove it's a lie. And I'll be right here. I'll be waiting. While again, number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'll be waiting for your answer.
Cancer.
All right? Read on.
Lest ye should be wise in your own conceit.
Yes, you see what? Wise in your what?
In your own conceit.
in your own conceit, meaning your own what?
Your own mind or
Your own conceit. What's a conceit? Your own what? What? Spell it for me.
yes,
CONCEIET.
CONCEITS, conceits.
Right? In your own conceits. Right? Now, excessive
Okay.
pride in oneself.
You repeat. You spell it, please.
Say that one more time.
You want me
So
to respell the word?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah.
Respell it.
CONCEITS.
All right, conceits, right? Which means what? Excessive pride in oneself. Meaning what? You think what? You think you're right.
You think you're, yes, cancer, you think you're
You
right.
think you're right. So now you what? You puffed up in your pride. Now we ain't go through. We Africans. We're from the tribe of Zulus. We Pan-African. You puffed up in your pride when there's tons of scriptures proving that we are Israelites. You understand?
Cancer.
But you don't caught up in your own what? Conceits. You don't caught up in it. Just like so many of our brothers that go to church, that's in the mosque, they think they what? They think they know God. You try to talk to them about the Bible. Oh no, I know this more than you. You understand? And no, we were Muslims when we came off that boat. Nigga, what are you saying? Where you getting that from? Right? Read on.
Come on. That blindness is
That what?
That blindness.
So you're blind, not what? You're not what?
You're not
physically blind.
But you're not understanding. You can't.
Yeah, you're spiritually blind to this whole thing. Read on.
In part is happening to Israel.
In part. So some of us, we just, blind. And now it could be that what? That Christ don't want your eyes open.
Cancer.
It could be. Right. They like to say Christ is all love, right? Jesus is all love, hugs and kisses, mew, mew, mew. Until you read, I believe it's Mark 13:7. Hold on, let me get it for you. Where Christ said, he didn't want you to hear he didn't want you to understand everything. You all know what I'm talking about?
Vaguely, sir.
Go to, let's see. I think it's 12. Check Matthew 12:7 or something like that. Hold on. I'm gonna look for it right here. Hold on. Just for time's sake, I'll just tell you what he was talking about, right?
Gotcha.
Christ was talking about he was speaking, right, to his disciples, and he was letting them know that some of these people, he do not want them to understand the truth. That's why he talked to them in parables. You remember
Cancer.
that?
Yes, he says it's given for you to understand, but to them it is not.
That is it.
Cancer.
Now, if he was all love, why would a man who is all hugs and kisses make that radical statement? You understand? Which lets you know what? That, you know, I mean, you might want your brothers and sisters, you know, I mean, you will truly want, and you should have that. You should have that in you, because Paul had it in him. And how I know Paul had it in him? Just continue reading. Come on.
So you may have to do a part 2 because it's part 7.
That's okay. Read on.
So that blindness is happening to Israel until the fullness of the Gentile be come in.
Right. Until the fullness of the what? Gentile come in.
Gentile.
And we know this Gentile he talking about coming in is not what? Is not the heathens. In this context, the Gentiles are brothers and sisters who were living outside of Jerusalem. You understand? Because remember, not Paul, but Peter and the other disciples did not want to sit down and eat or be seen with any brother outside of Jerusalem. Why? Because those brothers who were living outside of Jerusalem were not what? Circumcised. And once you weren't circumcised, Peter and them looked at you as being like a heathen or a publican. They didn't want to be seen in public with you. That's why he got the vision in Acts, where the Lord tell him, what I clean, you should not call unclean. That wasn't speaking about meat. That was speaking about the Israelites who were outside of Jerusalem. Right? Now read on.
That's the end of that verse.
Yeah, go on to the next one now. Paul gonna.
And so all Israel shall be saved.
And so what?
All Israel shall be saved.
That's what Paul wanted, and that's what we should all want. You understand? We should all want it, but don't let it be a stumbling block for you not coming into the truth. Meaning this, because your family member around you, your wife or your kids, they don't receive this truth. That don't mean what? You should what?
Reject it.
Yes. That don't mean you should reject it. You understand what I'm saying? It just means that what? The Lord or Christ in, you know what I mean, ask the Lord for him to have mercy on them, for the eyes to be open. But Christ asked the Lord for your eyes to be open, my eyes to be open. So now we see the world, but we see it in what? In the aspect of this Bible. You understand? But our brothers and sisters who are unable to see it, because guess what? We reading the Bible is written in what?
Bible is like a code, sir.
No. Meaning, what language is the Bible written in right now?
In English now.
No, it's written in English. In the language.
Hebrew.
No. That's what it was written in. It was translated into English. We are not reading the Bible right now in Hebrew. I'll talk about this minute. This minute, we are reading it in what? In English. But you're right. The language was what? Hebrew.
English, yeah.
Right? The Old Testament was what? Was Hebrew.
Hebrew, and the New Testament was Greek.
Greek, right? Good. But what we're reading right now is English. Meaning what? My mother know English, your mother know English. My wife know English, your wife know English. Your friends, they know English. And we all could say we what? We went to school, we had some form of education when it comes to English. We learned English. You understand? We all did it, but guess what? We all don't see or understand the same way. You understand? We don't see and understand the same way. Just like the Bible say what? It's not up for your what? private interpretation. That's why it's stupid when somebody say, well, you see that and I see it different. No, you just don't understand the Bible. You don't. You understand? Because you're with the understanding of Christians, it contradicts the Bible so much when you're a Christian that guess what? You're gonna have to say, you're gonna tell yourself, just to appease yourself, you're gonna be like, well, you know what? We're gonna have to agree to disagree. A Christian ever tell you that? You're debating a point. You're debating who the Israelites are. And then he just says, or she says, what? We're going to have to agree to disagree. No, we don't have to agree to disagree for nothing. You just don't know the Bible. And you can't prove nothing that comes out your mouth. But guess what? I can prove everything that comes out my mouth. I can prove it. Now, you prove what's coming out your mouth. You saying that we're not Israelites. Well, you prove we're not Israelites. And I get 10 other scriptures to prove that we are Israelites, according to this Bible. All right? Okay. I know we up on the time, right? I'm gonna try to continue it. Get some more Sunday, right? No, Sunday we might have the closing. I'm not too sure. I'll confirm it and let you know, right? Right. All right. Yeah, so now we're still in that period. So we shouldn't have what? No leavening in our house. All right. Now, if you're living with someone who does not believe, guess what? Then you don't eat anything with leavening in it. But every day you have to eat unleavened bread. You have to every day. You have to make it every day. And you have to eat it every day. You understand, young man Bryce? Sister Tish, you understand, right? You have to make it every day. You have to eat it every day, right? If you could take the leavening outside, meaning tie it up, put it outside in your car, your vehicle, do it. If you can't, then do not eat it. All right? That whole getting it out your house is so that you don't forget and then go on put some leavening in you. You understand? You're gonna feel, I mean, you're gonna feel like a loser if you do it. You understand? So to get away from all of that, just put everything in a box that's not supposed to be in your house that has leavening in it, and put it in your car in your trunk. All right. All right. And any questions before I let you all out? Any? If not, we're gonna continue it again. With the topic on Gentiles, because that's a topic, you know what I mean, that we have to understand fully, because Christians, they do pull scriptures to try and say we Gentiles. You understand? So to disprove them, you know what I mean, we're gonna definitely get in some more of them. All right. So with that, if you all have no more questions, I'll pass the class over to priest and officer Ashka.
Okay, this is the security announcement. We are the ISUPK, started out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commanding General Yahana. New rules for brothers and sisters. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to shed themselves of the world. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to the brother or sister. There is another 6 months in which the brother or sister will court each other. After this 6-month period, the brother or sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment. You can find this in Numbers 18:21 and Malachi 3:8-10. And it means tenth in the Hebrew and is pronounced by Aishura. 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you, give to the Treasury Department or teacher, the priest fund. Free will offering for priest. It's not mandatory. Whatever amount you would like to give, you can give. Upcoming Holy Convocation. I have to get that information. For we in the period of the Feast of Unleavened Bread right now, and we're in the 7-day period, and this finishes on Sunday. So I'm not sure what the next one is, but we're still in this feast period right now. So you need any other information, go to isupk.com and check your YouTube for ISUPK events and material. If a brother wants to be a trooper in the school, then he must start wearing all black, which includes black boots, shirt, pants, headbands, and scarf. And with that, I'm going to say Amajim, which means brothers to stand. We're going to give one courtesy to salute to Captain Nayata, the teacher for this evening. Amajim, Amajim Shabbat, Amajim, Barak, Yahweh Bayashim, Yahweh Shai Barakatah. You're muted, Captain.
Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai Barakathum.
And we say to the sister, Amajim, which means to stand. We'll give one courtesy salute to the sister. Yahweh Shemad Alatam by Hashem Yahweh Shai.
Yahweh Shema Elatan Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai.
Good job.
Shalom.
All right. Class dismissed.
Class dismissed.
All right.
Shalom.
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 Shalom.